Happy Father's Day, Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It'd be a concern of any of my relatives or friends.
Yeah.
So we had an instance where a couple of people remarked, this is not done in our families and all that. I none of your business. I mean, nobody could. You see, I have a kind of personality that nobody tells me things directly.
It makes me really proud that he served the nation, and he's a man of his words, and everything that he's done and the way he's brought us up. Yeah.
Allow our children the space to grow. They can do wonders if we give them the freedom to pursue their passions. They can do wonders. I was from a service background. I had no clue of the movies, and I wouldn't have ever imagined that my daughter or my son would be in this industry, not defending their own nation. And here, this army is fighting to defend our own boundaries. And people here are not concerned that much. Recently, yes, because of the media doing a great job, something is known. But I think there's more that we can do for our men and our and their families.
Welcome to Speak Easy. My name is Rudrani, and I'm with a fantastic father-daughter duo. I'm with Gurpreet Singh and wonderful father, Colonel KJ Singh. Thank you so much for doing this. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Rudrani. Thanks for having us.
The word father and the entire day of Father's Day is about the men in our lives who we really look up to, right? After we are sort of born, right?
Of course. And I think my dad has set the boundary pretty high. I mean, the level is really difficult to reach. So I just feel that there are not men with enough depth around. And absolutely, you look up when you meet new people, you sort of, especially for your partners, I think every girl looks up to her father and wants a guy to, have the qualities that your father has, which is why I guess I'm having a tough time.
She told me about how difficult sometimes it used to be, because when you were posted in remote areas, when you were posted far away, it used to be difficult because, they're always constantly worrying. What were the thoughts that goes through you at that time when you were in those positions?
No, you see, difficulty becomes a way of life when you are serving in an organization. And our wives play a very important role. They do get used to this kind of routine or this kind of an environment, where the next moment is not known, what information they're going to receive anytime. So as far as we are concerned, we lived in present. We don't. It's always better to live in present rather than thinking or imagining of things which can happen later on. So yeah, that's how it is. Better for everybody. You be prepared. Have your will in place, have your things in place, but be prepared for the worst. But live in present.
And also, I'd like to thank you, and especially to everybody, especially in times like this, like, I saw Rakul's, Rakul, I saw your post, and, I completely relate to that on what's happening today, right?
Yes.
It sort of puts perspective into how much we sometimes forget that there are people fighting for us in the borders while we are really comfortably sitting at home, isn't it?
Absolutely, Rudrani. I think it really hurt me. It's painful to see what's happening right now, and a lot of us don't even know what it takes for the forces, for the armed people to be there at the borders. What is at stake. People are being asked to keep themselves safe by staying at home, and that's difficult for them. And there you have the officers fighting on the borders just so that you're safe. So there's it's sad that people don't understand what goes into it, but yeah, that's what it is.
Officers and men too.
Officers and men, I mean everybody in the forces.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody.
Would you like to add to that, Colonel Singh?
No, I think she's fine. I think the nation needs to be more aware and more grateful to these people who are giving their everything for the nation.
Right.
Yeah.
I think in the West, I mean, especially the US, the armed forces are really celebrated. Everybody knows and looks up to them. And in India, it's really unfortunate that we don't even know what the rank system is. Trust me, a lot of people wouldn't know. basics like that. So
And the tragedy is that U.S. Army has never fought a war to defend its own nation.
yeah,
They have been defending the national policies abroad, but
Yeah.
but not defending their own nation. And here, this army is fighting to defend our own boundaries, and people here are not concerned that much. Recently, yes, because of the media doing a great job, something is known. But I think there's more that we can do for our
armed
men
forces,
and our and their families, which are left behind, and their children, who need the support and the guidance. There's a lot we can do.
It's one confession from Rakul that you might have done in the past, and if you like, and probably add your little Father's Day message for him. Something that he doesn't know at all about you. You might have lied as a child or something, and today you tell him that
this is not part of the deal. Why do I have to make a confession? I'm sure they know, but you bunked school, you bunked college, and it's not. But I was a very good child. I don't think I've been very notorious, and I think my dad would agree. I was not the rebel in the house. So if they said don't do this. Yeah, if they said don't do this, I used to be like, okay, fine. Who's going to get into conversations, and I won't do it. Or I would slyly do it sometimes. It was so now, but now I've just been so consumed with work. There's nothing that I have to really, they know it all. Yeah.
You know what? I still give her 10 out of 10 because that's part of growing up.
Yeah.
If you don't do these things at the right age, then you will end up doing it later, or you will feel that you missed something.
This he never told me then, huh? He's telling me now when I can't bunk anything. When there's
So
no
we've been doing it as kids, So but then I can't tell them.
But so sweet.
But I have to tell you one thing. There was this one time that I was bunking in school, okay? I don't think I've spoken about this before, ever. And I was bunking in school, me and my another best friend, and we were caught bunking. So I was the sports captain, and I was debadged for about 14 days. And I didn't tell dad because, we had a separate tie for being a prefect or, sports captain. So I borrowed another prefect's tie and I went home and I didn't tell my parents. Turns out that he was called to school for something else that my brother had done because he was the notorious one. And the vice principal says, and we were both very popular kids in school. So she just mentions to my dad, this is 1 week after this happened, that did Rakul inform you? And my dad said, so that came as a shock to him. But he actually took my side. And, I said, no, I had a migraine headache and, this happened and me and Anika were bunking and blah, blah, blah. So later my dad said, this time I'll save you, next time be honest with me. And I was like, okay, so he actually saved me there. But at home I said,
I'd be honest.
I guess, because I think when you try to contain the child too much or you try to restrict, that's when you want to do, why have I been said no? But I think we had all the freedom, my parents used to just say, just tell us. And that's it.
Okay, what are the few qualities that you feel, your father has that sort of always stood out for you, and we were discussing about how difficult and how you set the bar high, but what are those qualities? What are those moments in his life that you sort of take inspiration from?
I think, Rudrani, a lot of things. I've always said this in every interview that I don't think I could have done an iota of work if I didn't have my dad's support, and even today, no matter what it is, I discuss my contracts with him. I discuss, if I'm confused with scripts, sometimes I'll just email it to him. Why don't you give it a read also? Get like an audience feedback, get like dad's feedback. So I think he's always been my constant support where I don't take a major decision without discussion with him. And one thing which has always surprised me is, which I ask him, how do you know everything about everything? Like about the US politics, and then you know about China, and then you know about this and that, and about, which is not even his department, his expertise. So I think that's something I really, really admire, and that's what drives me also to sort of keep my myself brushed up with what's happening around my current affairs should be in place, because I know that my dad would know it. So, and even if I don't know it, I can just ask him, Acha Baba, what exactly happened here? So, he'd know. So I really think that knowledge and that in depth that he gets into everything is something that really, really inspires me. And that's one quality which you don't find in people today. Everything is just so superficial, and they're just scratching the surface of the matter and not really getting into depth of it. That's the biggest quality that I don't find.
But that's fantastic.
I find her right from the beginning. She's a very sincere child. Right, whatever she does, whether it was her homework or it was our relationship or as a sister or whatever, she has done with utmost sincerity. I'll tell you a small thing. She was not even 2 years, when we were in Bangalore and went to some mall, and she wanted to fiddle with some toys which are displayed there, and we just told her once that don't touch, and next time when we visited the same place or any other place like that, and she would tell other people also, somebody was touching, don't touch. so that's I think the sincerity is ingrained in her.
And that's amazing. I think it's when you're well brought up.
But I was always a drama queen. I think that also he would say that. I think that being an actor was something that
she would like to draw attention. So if we are, as a toddler, if we are around and we've not looked at her for a while or not spoken to her for a while, she will just fall down and she'll say, "Bobby ki gya?" Bobby, we should call her Bobby, So Bobby ki gya? And if we don't listen, then she start crying. And if we listen, oh, kya hua, then she's okay.
Yeah, little attention seeker I was.
No, but that's okay. See, you utilize it in the best way. You aren't in the very most positive way.
Yeah. I mean, direction, it's channel it in the right direction.
Channelize it. But, I of course know that you've been really, really supportive during her journey. When people are, so easy to sort of pass comments and not support, how did you sort of, at that time give it back to them?
No, we, I really don't have to give it back to anybody. It is my child and it is the child's life, and the child has to decide what she wants in life. Why should it be a concern of any of my relatives or friends? So we had an instance where a couple of people remarked, this is not done in our families and all that. I had none of your business. I mean, nobody could. You see, I have a kind of personality that nobody tells me things directly. Because they know they'll get it back. So
exactly why I asked. I just met him for the first time. I said, give it back.
So they try and convey through somebody, route it through somebody. I just ignored it. I said they can mind their own business. Absolutely fine. Whatever we feel is good for our children, we'll do it.
Yeah. I think for them, it was always, for my dad, it was always about trying everything. And, I think I mentioned this before. They used to say you should be a jack of all and master of one and, be in sports. And even when I used to, like he said, sincere, I couldn't leave my syllabus, even if it was a class test or, even if it was whatever exam, I had to study. So if I was studying for long hours, and I used to only study that 1 week, 10 days before exams. So my dad used to pull me out and say, okay, now enough. Now you need to go and play. You can't be studying for 10 hours. Like, that's not happening,
My limited thing was, when first time she decided to do a movie, she was doing a graduation that was maths honors. So I told her, I said, irrespective of whatever offers you get, I would like you to complete the graduation. And thereafter, take a call, whatever you have to do. And
no, actually, you said, think about it. If you want to go to correspondence, you can.
But then you have to complete the graduation.
Complete graduation.
But I think that's prudent. I think that's pragmatic decision.
Yeah.
So I mean, because why to waste a talent? Because she can do well in studies as well. So I said, you complete the graduation and do this. So I mean, this career.
But he never said that don't do this or complete from college. I remember very clearly when I did my first film, and I fell short of attendance in college. So my dad said that, I know you love this, and because I was modeling in Delhi and I was really busy and there was a lot of pressure because I used to attend college half day and shoots half day. So he said, I want you to do your graduation, but you can shift to correspondence and do it, so that it's easier for you. And that's when I said no, because, like he said, you should always have a backup. You know, when it's so uncertain on something which it's a new industry, it's a new space that I have no idea about. So tomorrow, if I didn't do well, you know, I wanted to give myself 2-3 years, and that's about it. And if I didn't really excel in it, I always knew I didn't want to be a struggler. So at least I have my graduation to fall back upon for my for my masters, which can be done at any point. And I think that support was there from him. I remember this one incident which was so funny. You remember the first film? Uh, I was so naive and like this child. I was all of 18 after modeling had gone.
Yeah.
And there was this scene where there was a kiss, which was a suggestion kiss, okay?
Yeah.
Like not even a real kiss.
Correct.
And they told me that this is not happening, and then it was happening, and I started crying on set. And it was a suggestion, and they've called my dad. And now my dad was stuck. Now, how does he tell me to do a kiss or not do a kiss? So nicely he was explaining it to me. See, you've taken a call, and that's professionalism. Now he can't tell me now, okay, now go and do it. Also, it wasn't a real kiss. It was like acting.
Tradition. Yeah.
But I know how supportive he was. He was like, but calm down first. So first he pacified me, and then he said, now you've seen the film. It's a remake. Why are you panicking? And he actually eased me down, and then I actually did it. And he said, it's your call. You don't want to do it, don't do it. But he was so stuck, I know, in between.
No, you see, it was a cheat. They were cheating it. They explained it. The suggestion. So they explained it to me. So I said it's okay. It's perfectly fine. If it's part of the script, you've gone through the script. If you have signed it, then you might as well. Whatever you think is required, you can do it. Otherwise, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. We'll take it off.
I remember how much like this pressure from me went away when I just had this call from him, because when you're new, you don't know what is accepted, what is not accepted at home, because you know that people will speak, and this is like when I was very young. After that, I finished my college and then got back to acting. But just his him giving me that comfort that it's fine, it's not going to come on you, it's not real, it's a drama, and I was like, okay, wow, if my dad is okay, then I don't care. So even today, if my parents are okay with what I'm doing, if I can watch my films with them, which is important to the script, whatever the scene is, I'm happy. I don't care about another third person.
But I think that's really, really progressive and supportive, because often I think when people enter this field, it's awkward, right? The conversation is awkward with parents.
I'll tell. See, there is a lot of uncertainty in this profession. Okay, that was the only concern, that there is a lot of uncertainty. Irrespective of a person's caliber, you may get or may not get the right kind of offers. Okay. But I was very confident that kind of upbringing that we've given, and with her education qualification, there are other options where she can do very well. So there was no worry as such. But one thing was very sure, that she was told that you do things at your own terms. You don't have to be worried about anything. We are there at.
I think that really makes a lot of difference, Rani. Like, if your parents' support is there, then then you don't have that added pressure of, proving it to somebody. A lot of time people sort of get depressed, or, they just lose perspective when they have to prove it to their families, when they know that they don't have the support system to fall back on, when it's all about survival, so I was very lucky that I didn't really have to battle all of that, and I had the support from my parents. But I think their first worry was when I left home when I was 20. I moved to Bombay. I think just that I was young, and I'm in Bombay, and I've never been alone, I guess, was.
Yeah, that of course, that you in any case.
I remember, because I used to get 3 calls a day. I know, they were maybe 4.
That was mom's department, to keep calling and keep checking where she is, what she is doing. But that she religiously follows now also. Morning and evening she does a call.
I call twice a day, wherever I am.
The child should understand the relations, the child should value the relations. You have your own value system. Okay. Academics is part of it. just one part of it. And we are giving, unfortunately, we're giving too much of pressure to the children, because of the academic side. That's the. And I think we're lucky that way. We both our kids are very level-headed.
That they are. Tell me, were there times in, I mean, from my understanding of it, and I've spoken to, like her mother as well as spoken to Auntie, and I feel like there is this extremely, an atmosphere of extremely, what do I say, understanding, and there's an atmosphere of care, which is genuine, right? And we've always struggled in our own little ways with our parents in sort of trying to be that way. Now, my point is that how do you play the good cop, bad cop? Now, I know it's difficult because I can't find it.
I should tell that. How do they play the good cop, bad cop?
Who's the good cop and who's the bad cop? That's what I understand.
It depends on what situation it is.
We do role reversals
They
very
do
often.
role reversals very often, and
Give
now
me
I tell
examples.
them, I'm like, now you can't like एक्टर के सामने एक्टिंग मत करो, मुझे पता चल जाता है कि आप लोग से कौन good cop bad cop. But it doesn't happen mostly with me anymore. I mean, with us. But I think it depends on what situation. So mom will take side and dad will be the strict one sometimes, and sometimes mom will say no. But I think more for Aman than for me that has happened.
Yeah, actually,
He's the brat in the house.
Yeah, he used to be.
He still is a brat. I mean, a good brat. Like, it's good for guys to have that kind of energy and bratty and whatever.
Yeah.
Today they don't have to do that role reversal, but while our school days,
times in school days, you see, point is that there should be communication with the child at one end. Whether it is with me or with mom.
Yeah.
Okay, other person can play a bad cop.
And Rakul is still like that. Rakul, is a part of this world, but in some ways she's not. In the real way, she sort of has her own friends. She has her own life. Karan Singh, how do you sort of look at that aspect of her life? You see that she obviously is difficult, right? Because she's hobnobbing, of course, with her industry friends. But then in the house, of course, you just the daughter, right? But have you asked?
She is a very genuine person.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have an artificial facade around her.
can't.
Okay. And if at all, there are friends and family who can always bring her down to the Mother Earth. And once a person is, see, if you want to go up in